Headed by former Clinton administration Chief of Staff John Podesta, has issued a series of recommendations regarding how Obama can implement a progressive agenda in a complete disregard of Congress now that the Republicans control the majority of the House of Representatives. Now, what is this all about? We have in this country a system of checks and balances. A three-tiered form of government, the executive, the legislative, and the judicial. And each one is able to balance out and control the power that the other one has. Congress can write the law, the president can veto the law. But if Congress wants to, then Congress can go back under certain rules and guidelines and go ahead and pass the law anyway. The Supreme Court can then step in and say, wait a minute, that law is unconstitutional. It all works if it's allowed to work the way it's supposed to. But here now, we've had a paradigm shift in this country. We've had a change. We've had a situation where a lot of the progressive liberals have been thrown out or in the process of being thrown out, and we're going to have a majority of so-called conservatives inside the House of Representatives, and there's a few more in the Senate. And so now everybody's saying, oh no, Obama's a lame duck president. Now he'll never be able to get anything done, and all this progressive agenda and this and that and the other. Well, I think that that's already been figured out. And instead of, if Obama can't get the environmental laws passed that he wanted, then he'll just start sending memos to the EPA and other organizations say, do this, do this, do this, do this. In other words, he'll be able to say, do this, and they'll do it. And if Obama doesn't get some of the laws that he wants passed, he'll just be able to say to this administration or this department or this cabinet member or this group and say, here's an executive order, I'm telling you to do this, now do this. None of which would be voted on or approved of by the representatives of the American people, which is our Congress. So in essence, what that will make Barack Hussein Obama, he will no longer be the president of the United States. He'll be the king of the United States. Our forefathers came to this country and they said, we don't want a king. Our king is King Jesus. That's who our king is. So they said, we don't want a king. But if the president, and I don't care if it's Barack Obama or George Bush, or whoever follows Barack Obama, I hope it's not Hillary, whoever follows them in, they're going to be the king of America. They'll just do whatever they want to do. Daniel chapter 8. Listen, and I know, and let me, before I read this, I do not believe that Barack Hussein Obama is the Antichrist. People have asked, hey, you believe Obama's the Antichrist? No, he doesn't have 7 heads and 10 horns. He doesn't have 10 crowns upon those horns. He doesn't look like a leopard, a lion, and a bear. Okay, that's just not how he looks. But the Bible, when it says things prophetically, it has a partial fulfillment and a complete fulfillment. And I want you to just listen now to Daniel chapter 8. If the president, whoever it is, if the president of the United States ends up becoming the king over America by just doing whatever he wants to. Listen to this. And in the latter time of their kingdom, when the transgressors are come to the full. Boy, that sounds like we're close. A king of fierce countenance and understanding dark sentences shall stand up. And his power shall be mighty. Listen to the words of the Bible. But not by his own power. You see, I believe that Barack Obama is an ideologue. Now, I have respect for that because that's what Mike Hoggart is. I'm an ideologue. I believe in ideas and principles that you just don't waver from. Okay, you don't back down from anybody. Okay, but I think the powers that are really running the show are greater than Barack Hussein Obama. Okay, you need to understand that. And so his power shall be mighty, but not by his own power. So think about it. And he shall destroy wonderfully, and shall prosper and practice, and shall destroy the mighty and the holy people. And here we have a president who is all things to all religions. But he does not support, even though he says he's a committed Christian, he does not support the principles of Bible Christianity. And through his policy, it just sounds right. Through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many. And he shall also stand up against the prince of princes, but he shall be broken without hand. And I just think there's, if Obama ends up just doing whatever he wants to do without the people, without the will of the Congress, without all of that stuff, that sort of makes him like a king, like a god. The Newsweek article. The cover of Newsweek magazine, November the 22nd. Stop right here. 11/22, the day that Kennedy was assassinated. That 11 and 22 make a 33. Now I want you to think about that. On this particular issue of Newsweek magazine, 33 is a number that represents the beast, the angel of the bottomless pit. Think about it. I think these things are done on purpose. So here's the Newsweek cover, calling Barack Obama the GOAT. G-O-A-T, God of all things. Wow. I mean, I saw this and I'm going, I can't pass this one up. I've got to deal with this one. When I saw this, I immediately knew what it was. I recognized it. It is, it's a Hindu god called Shiva. But let's go back now to before the inauguration, before the election, when the Democratic Party was going to approve and anoint and coronate Barack Hussein Obama as to be their exalted leader. Remember, they had their conference there in Denver, Colorado, and here was the front page of the New York Post, the convention special. Oh, as in Obama, my God, Dems erected an Obama temple. I mean, look at this. Here you have Obama has this big, elaborate temple up on the stage. Remember, he's the anointed one. He's the Messiah that's going to change America. It's going to change the world. And he steps out literally as a god. And by the way, I counted the steps here. The floor being the first level, he rises up 10 more steps. That's 11. You want to get a glimpse of that, we look at Revelation, or Rev, chapter 9, and verse 11. I mean, it's all there, people. The symbolism is there, okay?